Hello Internet, it's your girl Cecilia, and today I'm going to bring you a video of the 107% rule, the 107% rule by our friends at Funselektor developer. You may remember them from Absolute Drift, a game which I have not played but seems pretty cool. This is a game that is a very minimalist Formula One management simulator. So we're going to be playing the role of the race strategist for two drivers. We've got our boy Altula and Sibelindpa. All of the drivers in this race have procedurally generated finish names. And we rolled a wet race, which means everybody's going to start on wet tires, and I'm going to set our strategy initially to maximum attack. Let's get started. Our drivers did not qualify very well. They started in 13th and 14th, although Sibelindpa here has got themselves up to 11th fairly quickly. I'm going to be running a pretty aggressive strategy because we've got a lot of ground to make up. And I would like to do that as quickly as possible, since we're in the wet. We can see our forecast up here, we can see our current standings up here, and we can see the position of every driver on the track here. As you can see, we're still very much in a pack, but number one, your girl Simti there is starting to pull out a bit of a lead, so we would like to get our driver Sibelindpa up there as quickly as possible, so that we can maybe take over. I don't know what happened to Maloila over there. They got thrown way down the order. Alright, and Sibelindpa here is doing super fucking well. They're almost on the podium already, and it's barely lap 3. So hopefully we'll be able to continue to make up ground on numbers 1 and 2, although they are pulling a bit of a gap on us at present. We're also eating our way into a bit of a hole tire strategy-wise, but I think we'll be able to make up for that by making smart strategic calls down the line. The name of this game comes from the 107% rule, which is a rule in Formula One that says that if a car cannot complete a qualifying lap within 107% of the time of the pole position lap, then they will not be allowed to run the race. And so this actually has happened. There have been people who have brought Formula One cars to a race weekend and not been allowed to run because they were simply too slow. Although it does not happen at all in recent years. Alright. I'm going to make a play to conserve some of our tires a little bit. I still want to be on the attack here, but I don't want to get too locked off into a different pit strategy here. So we will see how this goes. Although I am a bit worried that Javias will pull a gap on us. This game is, I think, really good. It is very simple as it appears, but it's very fun as well. There are games that have a little more depth to them, a bit more complexity, like Motorsport Manager, where you're managing tires and fuel and all of that stuff. But I think that this game is nice because it... again, I'm gonna pull back a little bit. I don't want Sibelindpa to be too much off strategy for Javias here. Even though they are, again, pulling faster laps than we are presently, our tires are in much worse condition, and I would like that to not be the case, even if it means that they gap us a little bit. Also going to pull back Altula to more neutral. Running there, they're in 7th. That's not as great as I might like, but we'll have to live with it. it is still going to be raining for the foreseeable future. We've got this ambient track. The game has two soundtracks, one for the rain and one for the not rain. So right now, obviously, we're getting the rain one. We want to pit Altula fairly soon. In fact, I think I'm going to get aggressive here. I'm going to pit Tula now, and Sibel and Pa this lap. We're getting a bit off strategy from the rest, and hopefully we'll be able to pay it off by, first of all, getting some track position with an undercut, and second of all, being a little more flexible, a little ahead of the game, and maybe making better use of all of our tires. So we're going to gain a lot of position this lap when everybody else pits. We just have to hope that we are in position to take advantage of it. It's looking like it's going to be very close. And as you can see, we have in fact jumped Havgas here, so I'm going to immediately switch Sibel and Pa back to a sort of more neutral here, and I'm going to ease off Altula a bit as well. So what this means is that when everybody else here pits, we are going to be in first place, which is exactly where we want to be right now. Now we control the pace of the race, and we can make up for the tire deficit, essentially, by running long, by making Havgas work for everything. I'm undoubtedly pronouncing these names wrong because I can't speak a word of Finnish. As you can see, our next 10 laps or so, it's going to be raining for the entire time. So let's talk a little bit about what our options are. We have 4 strategies that we can say. We can say max attack, which is the fastest, but will go through our tires the quickest. Attack, which is a little more moderate. Neutral, which is what I'm using right now, which is actually the best for tire life, but is among the slowest. And then conserve, which I assume is a little bit more like, which I'm actually going to switch Sibel and Pa to now, which is a little harsher on the tires. Oh, actually, we just got passed. Let's go to attack. We don't want to be passed at all. Conserve is a little bit harder on the tires, but will let us... but I believe what it does is it causes the driver to defend their position. So it's not that you're conserving your tires, it's that you're stopping people from overtaking you quite so easily, as we just embarrassingly got overtaken by Havgas there. This is not a position that we really want to be in. We're down on tires, and we've lost the track position. In other words, they're quicker than us. Normally when you lap a car, like we just did, our Havgas and Sibel and Pa both just lapped Malala in last place, but unfortunately we weren't able to take advantage of that to get an overtake done, as can sometimes happen. In fact, I think Havgas stole a bit of a march on us. So here's what I'm going to do. is I'm going to bet that nobody is going to make it through the rest of this race without 2 more pit stops, but I'm going to take ours now. I'm going to put onto wet tires, see if we can't steal a bit of a march on Javias. This might be the wrong move to make. We'll find out. It all depends on whether everybody else is going to make 1 more pit stop or 2. My bet is on 2. If it's on 2, then we have done the correct thing here, and we will win. If not, then we've got some more problems. Altula, I'm going to try and leave on the same strategy as everyone else. Although our tires are in significantly worse condition. Valenthal was just overtaken somehow. I am not entirely sure what's up. Alright, let's pit onto another set of wets before Altula crashes the fuck out of this race. Alright, let's see where this round of pit stops leaves us. We might not have the track position necessary to get this. Let's find out if we managed to pull off an undercut. We did. So I'm immediately going to set to conserve. Sibellenpa here in 6th. Has quite a bit of space on everyone else. I don't know why the person in 5th is behind us on the track. That's a weird bug. I had never seen something like that. But I'm not especially worried because 5th place is still on a different pit cycle from us, and so we are likely to move up into 1st here. Now our problem is that we are fundamentally off strategy. So if these people can make their tires last, then they will win. They have to go 12 laps on a set of wet tires, and I think they are in fact likely to be able to do so. So I may have fucked up. I think what I'm going to do is set to neutral, which we may get overtaken, but we are going to have to make these tires last. Because I don't think I can count on these guys having to make another pit stop. Given where we started, I think that this is a pretty impressive showing, leaving the race for this long even if it being off strategy. But unfortunately, what we weren't able to do was really control the race, and so we're likely first of all to be overtaken by Javias, who is again quicker than us by quite a bit actually right now. They've got almost 2/10 on us when you look at the difference between our lap times. And we are furthermore likely to need to pit again and end up quite down the order. We'll see. And I would like to try and stretch these tires. I think Altula though can go on the attack. You have to make an audacious strategy if you want to win the race. Unless you get lucky and start on pole. The starting positions in this game seems to be randomized. The first time I played I did actually have a racer start in either 1st or 2nd place, and so I was able to use essentially the same strategy I used today, even though it was a dry race. They were able to get in front very quickly and found themselves kind of lucking out on the tire game without having to gamble like I did. We'll see how it goes. The AI in this game can be sometimes not great. Yeah, it looks like we were overtaken. Alright. Well. We committed to our strategy, and so now we have to commit to our strategy. I don't know how I somehow got into 18th, despite the fact that 14, 15, 16, and 17 are considerably behind me on the track. Once again, this is a very strange bug. I think it has to do with how it calculates position when cars are in the pits. Alright, it's recalculated since... no? It has not recalculated. It still thinks we're in 18th. Maybe if we overtake number 13, consider us in the right place again. Well, this is a very odd bug. I don't know, I think this game has a lot going for it. Unfortunately, this is a very strange bug, and I'm going to set this to neutral. Altula is not likely to make up any more positions, and could possibly lose out due to bad tires in the last couple laps of this race. Oh, actually, look at everybody else pitting. Look at that! Perhaps I guessed right after all. Smelenpa is in 7th and will be able to attack the entire rest of this race. Altula is not going to pit, but those other folks might have to. Once again, 3, 4, 5, 6 are shown behind me on the track. You know, they're not, actually. Like, did I end up a lap down somehow? Is that what's happening? Truly, I am mystified. Okay, well, I finished in 3rd, and then somehow those people finishing after me knocked me down to 7th? I don't get it, but at least Altula made it onto the podium. That's a very odd bug. I have to say I expected only 3/10 off the victory. Look at that.